Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. I just realized we probably should have figured out what the intro to this was because this isn't a normal episode, and you're not the normal highly
And
successful.
I'm highly successful.
Sure.
Today, we're
Sure.
talking...
Sure. Okay.
What are we talking about today?
So, I don't really have anything specific in mind. It's just I wanted to do. So we're doing a little bit of a bonus episode, right? We're doing a little bit of a makeup episode. Because last week, there wasn't one. On Tuesday there was not an episode. So, we're here now. Yeah. So me and Max already recorded a normal episode going up on Tuesday, but I wanted to make sure there was a little something extra to make up for what we missed. So me and my boy are here, and we give you a little bonus episode.
Sometimes I notice when you say things, you
that
stutter.
I repeat myself.
That I repeat
myself. Yeah,
exactly.
That I repeat myself.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you noticed it because I was like, that's kind of weird how you said it like 15 times.
Well, shut up. I didn't have to repeat that one, did I?
No, you're getting better. I'm proud of you, man. I'm not gonna lie though, like we need a topic. It's gonna help this go along.
No, I kind of just want to sit here.
I had my food that I was gonna eat like during long pauses, but if this is the first long pause, I might as well just start now. I was gonna do it while you were having a wrong.
No, shut up.
You know how like sometimes you like ramble on for like minutes at a time? I was like, let me get some food just in case he does that.
Oh, you mean like the core appeal of the entire show? The my fucking brand? Yes? Yeah, I'm well aware of that, actually.
Personally, I think people are here for the other people on the show. I feel like you're like the person that they are the like that they tune out to like get to the good parts, which are the other people, you know?
Then if you looked at the fucking waveform of these shows, they're skipping through a lot of it.
Yeah, I know. Like they're dedicated to getting to the good part. You know what I mean? It's like whenever like you recommend a show to someone and you're just like, yeah, just go through like the first 6 seasons, season 7 and on. That's it pops off. That's kind of like watching this podcast.
Average anime fan.
It's kind of like watching this podcast. You know what I mean? Like if you skip like 90% of it and you get to the good part where Kael's not talking. You know what I mean?
Kael's always talking. That's the best part of this show. I don't know what the fuck you're on about. Every time I talk to someone new, right? They're always like, "Damn, you have a really nice voice." I'm like, "Thank you. I know. It's a good thing I went into podcasting because I really have a face for radio and a voice for radio. But radio's a dying medium, so we're here instead."
I can agree on the face for radio part at least, but
I'm more handsome than you. Let's be real here.
Hey, I'm just agreeing with you. I didn't say any. It's not like I said anything you didn't already say. Okay.
I know, but I just want to make it clear that there's a hierarchy here, and
I feel like beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
If beauty is only skin deep,
and in my eyes, I believe I'm more beautiful.
You don't wear glasses, do you?
No, I have perfect vision.
You should probably start.
I have perfect vision. I don't need glasses. I think that's part of the appeal of my look, is that I don't need glasses. But I do look good in sunglasses sometimes,
I look good in your mom. Got him.
Wow.
I'm checking my phone right now. I'm checking my fucking phone right now.
It's crazy that this is
great.
This is what the podcast is, right? Like it's just you saying my mom. It's like
again, to be fair, I'm checking my phone right now.
It's one of those things, right, where like it almost feels like you're contractually obligated to say it every episode because like it's like on clockwork.
I didn't say it last time. I don't.
You definitely said it at least a couple times.
I said my mom. No,
the point is like it's always.
So I recorded an episode today with Maxwell, right? And I didn't say it then. I said my mom. Okay, I made no reference to his mother. So, checkmate, atheists.
Why did the atheists have to get called out that for that one? I just like none of this makes any sense ever, Kale. I
I
hope you.
don't need to make sense, right? That's the appeal, right? You're going down the hole into Wonderland. You know, you're following the White Rabbit, right? I'm the White Rabbit. You're all following me. You're going down this hole, right? You know, and I love holes, man. Shia LaBeouf, man. Uh, you thought I was gonna go into some different direction? Nope, no. I'm going with Shia LaBeouf, baby. No one can predict what I'm gonna say. Not even me, right? I am incomprehensible to my foes.
Mhm. Tell me more.
Um, uh, forgot to do my Duolingo. I should probably do my Duolingo here in a minute.
Dude, you're gonna do it on the podcast?
I mean, I'm tempted to. I think it would be really funny. I think that would be really funny. Yeah, yeah. Um, hang on. Actually, no. I wanted to ask you the same question that I asked Maxwell earlier today. Are you
Oh,
prepared for this?
I don't think I'm ever prepared for this, but sure, why
Good.
not?
So, I was reminded of a song. It's a song you might not have heard, but when I tell you the name of the song, you will know what I'm talking about, right? Because it's sort of the song is named after like a famous film series, I guess, like a series of films.
You're
Um,
worrying me a little bit, but that's okay. It's fine.
um, have you ever heard the Lil Dicky song "Freaky Friday"?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you know they're at the end, right? When Lil Dicky brain swaps into Kendall Jenner's body, and he's like, "I have a vagina. I'm gonna explore that now." Um, is that's immoral, right? Like that is at the very least questionably moral, correct? Like even if it's like, even if you're in that body, if you're jacking off in someone else's body, you know that's kind of weird, right?
You know, it's a little hard to like classify these sort of scenarios because technically, it is somebody else's body, but
Yes.
like, like so are you expected to just not like what can you do in the body that's acceptable, right?
That's true.
Because
I brought that up. I said,
it's one of those
you
things
know,
where it's like you're gonna want to shower, you know what I mean? Just seeing
and you're
that
gonna,
body naked, is that immoral? Because you're gonna
yeah.
have to shower, you're gonna have to do certain things. It's
I
like,
brought that up. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was
you
like, you
know,
know,
I feel like if we start drawing arbitrary lines in the sand here, we'll get nowhere. So I like to think that the body that you're hosting, right, the body that you're in, you should be able to do whatever it is while you're conscious in that body. But I only say that if it's a situation like how it is in Freaky Friday, where it's like,
that's sort of where we got to as well, right? Let me tell you what well, I don't want to spoil what Max said, but I want to sort of give you like three possible situations, and I want to know where your head's at, right? So, situation one, it is a song. It's a situation like in Freaky Friday. You know you're gonna switch back at some point, right?
hmm
I would say, or I want to hear what you would say in that situation.
like concerning what, like,
Can you jack it in somebody else's body if you know you're gonna switch back at a certain point?
well, I think about it like this, right? I feel like I can do whatever I want during that day, unless it's going to uh, I think seriously jeopardize the character of the individual that I'm possessing, right? For example, like that one scene during the song where he just kind of like pulls it down in the middle of the street, that might be that might be crossing the line a little bit, you know?
Okay.
But
I
I feel like if you just want to like live like a bougie day in Chris Brown's body, you know what I mean?
I
Whatever
woke
you,
in Chris Brown's body. How'd the shit turn into Freaky Friday?
whatever you decide to do, as long as I don't think like I said, it affects his like personal image.
Now,
Because
I would
I feel
say,
like if it was my body, I would feel the same. You know what I mean? I'm like, do whatever you want in my body. Just don't do something that's gonna affect me after that day. You know what I mean, right?
yeah. Here's what I would say. I have a few thoughts on that. Number one, fuck Chris Brown. You can do whatever you want when you're in Chris Brown's body. I would fucking chop my own arm off if I was in Chris Brown's body because he's a piece of shit. So fuck Chris Brown. I
Hmm.
hope he chokes on his own dick. Um, Number two, I meant not specifically like being in Chris Brown's body. I meant like just being in somebody's body. Like is
Like
what's
I
that?
I think that what I've come to like point of is that I think that it's a situation, right, where I think that you're allowed to do whatever you want in the body as long as it doesn't have long term effects past that day, right? Like, let's say you wanted to go to the pool, right? That's not gonna affect you the next day, right? You wanted
Yes.
to go to the movie theater, that's not gonna affect you the next day, right? But if you want to like murder somebody, that's gonna follow you that next day. You know what I mean, right?
Mm.
Or like like let's say you crash a car. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, don't be stupid with it. uh,
Yeah.
you
I'm
know what I mean? So technically, I think anything goes as long, like I said, as long as it doesn't go back into after the swap happens again, right?
okay, but wouldn't you feel kind of weird if somebody switched into your body and they jacked it with your wiener, right? Wouldn't that be kind of weird?
Well, probably, but it is what it is, man.
Like you would know for the rest of time that somebody jacked it with your wiener, and that's kind of weird.
But like I
You
don't
know,
feel like I would think about it as much as you are.
I feel like you say that until you're like, wait, somebody was inside my body and somebody was jacking it with my own wiener. Man, that's weird. I you've gotta put your brain in that headspace, and you gotta be like, damn, that is actually kind of weird.
I
You
feel
know?
like the only way that this swap makes any sense is if it's two people with drastically different lives. You know what I mean, right? So I would need to swap into somebody's body that has a drastically different life than mine. So who like give me an example of somebody I would be switching body with? Because I'm like an average everyday warehouse worker
No,
slash
hang on, hang
student,
on,
right?
hang on, hang on.
What would I be switching with? I know that
So
in
the
the
opposite of Danny is someone who's tall and smart and attractive
let
and
me let
makes a
me
lot of
reword let
money.
me continue what I was saying before you continue your point real quick. So, like in the movie Freaky Friday, the one that was like in the 2000s, right?
Of
I
course, you're
remember
talking about the Lindsay fucking Lohan one, of course,
I
naturally.
there's I know that there's a new one and then there's probably like a really old one. I'm talking about the one right in the middle, right?
Okay.
So the Lindsay Lohan one, I believe the whole thing with that is it's like a student and like a business lady. I think the mom is right,
Yes.
right.
Successful businesswoman marrying a stepdad, all that sort of thing. Yeah.
The thing is, like, so for me, like, would it be like my non-existent son? You know what I mean? Like that I'd be switching
No.
with, or
Let
I
me let me finish my point.
like I feel like I need to switch with somebody that's like different enough. You know what I mean? Actually, have you seen this movie? It was with Ryan Reynolds and the guy from Arrested Development. I can't remember his name.
Will Arnett,
No,
Jason Bateman.
I think it's Jason Bateman. Jason.
Okay. Jason
The
Bateman. The guy who's like, well, all right. You know, uh,
He has a
well,
movie
that guy.
with Ryan Reynolds where they switch bodies, kind of like that, right? Where they have like two different lifestyles. Like one's a family man and one's like a
Oh, the
bachelor.
change up.
Yeah, that one. Like kind of
Out
like
of
that.
all the movies you've never seen, why is that a movie that you've seen and remember? I haven't thought about that in years.
I felt like it was it was the only like body switching movie that I felt like would apply to like this sort of situation, right? Where it's like they're like both around the same age, but they have different lifestyles, right? I feel like that's the type of switch up that would make sense in this situation, right? But I'm sorry that's just the movie that came to mind.
What the fuck, man? Nah. So no. So let me get back to my point. So you have to find someone who's like the opposite of you, right? So someone who's tall, funny,
No, no, no. It doesn't.
handsome,
I think that you're focusing on physical
smart.
appearances. I'm talking about lifestyles,
No,
right?
no,
So
no.
like
Handsome, smart, funny,
for example, like
successful,
I kind of have
makes a
like I
lot of
would say
money.
like a sedimentary lifestyle. You know what I mean, right? I kind of have.
Sedimentary lifestyle. What the fuck are you?
I'm not.
Sedentary.
I'm not gonna lie.
Sedentary.
I just say words sometimes. All right, Nick. I like saying words because I I I don't know. I don't have my thesaurus always on me. All right.
You tell me I don't speak good, and you're fucking sedimentary lifestyle head ass.
I was like, it
Jesus
didn't sound
Christ.
right when I said it either, but I was gonna run with it. All right, with my full chest. All right, but like for example, I don't feel like I'm like the bachelor in that movie, but I'm also not the family man, right? I'm kind of just like a student slash warehouse worker, you know, making money,
You're
going to
the lil.
school,
You're
lounging
the Lil
around, right?
Dicky. You're the Lil Dicky. The point I'm trying to make here is you're the
No,
Lil
no,
Dicky,
it's
and
not a
I'm the Chris Brown.
it's not a little
Okay.
Dicky Chris Brown. It's more like I said, it's like the change up, right? It's like two like it's not like two people that are like famous, but like different levels of famous. It's like two people that are average and different levels of average, all right? I feel like we're getting confused here.
No, no, because I'm saying that like to switch. If you were to switch, it would be someone who's not average. You know.
Well, no, but Little Dicky and Chris Brown are just two different levels of famous. One's like really famous and one's like barely famous. Right?
Eh, I mean, I would say in 2024 they might be the same level of famous, and that makes me happy because
Well, I like Little Dicky more than Chris Brown,
who doesn't honestly like? Lil
He's
Dicky made Earth. He
he's
made
ve-
Freaky Friday, which is pretty shitty. But he didn't go to jail for beating fucking Rihanna.
he
So you know
does
what?
he does need to make more music though.
He
He's good.
doesn't. He doesn't. His music sucks. But
It's been a minute. I've been waiting.
it could go longer. I think the world would not be.
There's a couple
Um,
good songs
we
though.
actually talked a little bit about how shit Little Dicky's music is. We talked about what is it? Earth. Earth. That one was really bad. Um,
So yeah, that's not one of his. That's kind of like one of the ones like I wasn't really a big fan of. That was like his like biggest one or his last big one.
what I said about it was, it's a good thing it's a charity single because it's really fucking bad. It's a good thing that every square ounce of profit that thing made went to helping the earth because the release of that song sure fucking didn't. If that wasn't a charity song, that would be that kind of song would be like 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 yeah, no, that would make the world worse. And Leonardo DiCaprio was in it, man. And like the one thing Leonardo DiCaprio has been in that's worse than his girlfriends. Boom, roasted. Oh my god.
What'd they do?
Like they're too young.
Yeah, but the way you worded it was, you know, you didn't word that very good. It sounded like you were just roasting his girlfriends for no reason. I feel like you're roasting his taste in women.
They're not good enough for him. They're not good enough for him. You
Oh,
caught me. You caught me.
that's what
You
you're
caught
trying to
me.
say. Okay,
Leo, honey, I'm younger than all your girlfriends, and I'll treat you right, Big Daddy.
man, he's trying to
Me,
like get
me
money wherever
burning
he can.
bridges, me burning bridges to every like single person in Hollywood right now. Lil Dave Bird is not going to be on this fucking show. I hear his show on FX is good though. I will say that. I've heard his show on FX is okay. Just the rapping is not Fantastic. I'll tell you what. My favorite song that he ever made, and I will say this one's actually good.
What about Little Dicky, right?
Yeah, this is Lil Dicky.
Hmm.
I like the whole Save That Money one. That one was fun. I like that one. It's a
Okay.
guilty pleasure, I will admit. But you know what? It's fun. It's fun, and I like the gimmick of the video where it's like, we're trying to make a video on $0, so we just ask people who own mansions in LA if we can just film in their backyard. You know,
There's
I
a
like that.
couple different ones that I like a lot. I feel like you know the one Jennifer likes a lot. She likes Molly. Molly's
I
not
haven't heard
really
that one.
the same. You've never heard Molly? It's like his only serious song, like where he actually like is like a serious like singer, like rapper. Most of his songs are like comedy rap. That one's like actually
Yes,
like serious rap, you know?
I might have to check it out, but I will say.
Because she doesn't like the comedy rap. I like the comedy rap, but that's her favorite one, and it's a pretty good one. It has Brendan Urie in it as well.
I don't think we need to talk about Brendan Urie anymore.
You don't like
I
Brendan Urie?
I think he's done some things allegedly that
Well, I don't know what he's done, but he has a good voice. That's what I know. And then the song that
there's a reason why Pat D hasn't made any big songs in a while. Some
the
things came out back in 2020.
man, let me tell you, you're in on the news, and you're making it sound like I know what you're talking about.
He was alleged
Look,
to have done some things.
you're saying a lot, but you're not like. Here's the thing: you're talking, but there's no substance. You know what I'm trying to say? Like there's
It's
words, but nothing behind the words. You
yeah,
know,
it's
it's like you eat food without flavor. That's what you're giving me right now. There's no sustenance there. You know what I mean?
there's just some alleged things that he did with people who are less than old. Um, maybe not so good. Maybe not so good. It's not as
He,
bad as some other people.
he was signing
He's not a Kevin
autographs.
Spacey.
He was signing autographs for underage fans. Like I don't. What's wrong with that?
He's not really a Kevin Spacey, right? He's not a Kevin Spacey, but he maybe not so good. Maybe not so good.
Okay, but before we get on this little spiral about
We don't need to get on the spiral. That's what I'm
your whole
saying. I'm
Brandon
saying we
Urie
don't
thing,
need to talk
like
about
you
it.
keep
I
mentioning
don't
it,
want to talk about it.
and you
I don't want to talk about it.
you sound like you want to talk about
I
it.
don't want to talk about it, but you brought it up, and I just want to say, I don't know if we should talk about it anymore. I think
So
there.
that was Jennifer's favorite song. My favorite song is a song called Ex Boyfriend.
Oh, I've heard that one.
That
I've
one's
heard
really
that one.
funny.
I
I
kind
like
of
that
want to
one a lot.
spoil it for the audience. I kind
That
of
one's
want to
really
spoil it
funny.
for the audience.
Spoil what for the audience?
The plot twist of that song.
Yeah, that's a good one though. That's a good one. That's the one I always
I've
remember.
heard it before. I do remember it. I don't remember being wowed by it, but it's got a nice plot twist. I
It
mean,
has a
I
nice plot
guess
twist, and it's like I think it's pretty funny.
spoilers from here on out. Spoilers from here on out. So I guess if you care, go listen to it. It's like a 10-year-old song now.
Yeah, it's pretty
If it's
cool.
2024, it's like 10 years old now. So it's fucking whatever, I guess. Um, homie, yeah, spoilers. Like the ex-boyfriend was from like second grade. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. It's a good joke. It's a good joke.
Yeah,
You
that
know.
one's that one is good, but the actors he got for the video is so funny too. If you've never watched like the video with it,
I did. I watched the video.
the video is so good.
I watched that video about 10. Yeah, if it's 2024, holy shit, that would be like 8 years ago now. Oh my god, I feel old. I feel really fucking old, man.
That's what I've been saying, man. You're like a pile of dust at
Oh,
this point.
ugh, ugh. I feel
Or
fucking old, man.
like what's it called? White Crimes is another really funny one.
I haven't heard that one.
That one, it's like him talking about him doing like the most minor crimes, and then he's like white crimes. Like he's like
I mean, I guess. Why is
like
one of my Steam friends named Blake Shelton playing Insurgency Sandstorm? I want to know. I want to know.
You're friends with Blake Shelton?
And he's playing Insurgency Sandstorm apparently. So good for him, I guess.
That's what I'm saying, man. Let me see.
You know
Like,
what? Speaking of Blake Shelton, and his garbage music, and since we're on the topic of music right now, you know what? I'm pissed that we never really got to do. I'm really, really, really pissed that we never got to do this. I really wanted to do. What was it? Do you remember when I told you, like, because this was during your tenure. This was years ago. That I wanted to do that thing on AMP, like the radio show thing, where like we would go on for like an hour and we would talk and we would play music and shit. Like, do you remember that?
I don't remember it as much as I feel like I should.
I said I wanted to do that so bad, and we never ended up doing it because it was really hard to fucking schedule with you, just for the 1 hour and 15 minutes a week, much less for another 2-3 hours. You know.
So you want to go on a radio show?
We would have our own.
You want to have a radio show, but how would that work though? Because we don't have rights to like any music.
So AMP does. So AMP is, I think, owned by Amazon. If I'm recalling correctly. It's okay, I guess the AMP app doesn't even exist anymore. Well, that's cool. You know what? Good to know. It was, like Travis Scott had his own radio show and shit like that. But like, yeah, it got shut down. I guess like 2 months ago, back in October. Damn.
Dang.
But yeah, it was an Amazon thing. I guess it didn't make enough money. You know what? That makes sense. That makes fucking
Some Amazon things,
sense.
are not worth continuing.
Yeah.
I know that. What's it called? A couple years ago, Microsoft had the Mixer, which died. You know what I mean? There's lots of like real big projects that these companies make, and then they just either give up on it or abandon it, or it's not successful. Like I know that like what is Google Stadia is dying or died already.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like a whole bunch of just random projects that like were popular for like a year or not even popular for a year, and then they just fade away like they never existed.
Yeah, but that's the free market for you. If shit don't work, it don't work, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
Like, that's just how
it's true.
the cookie crumbles and shit, you know?
Some of them felt like they were just so short lived though. Like
Yeah, I get
came
that.
and went.
You know, that's the title of my sex tape, by the way. Came and went.
I thought it was so short lived.
That also, yeah. That's the sequel. That's the sequel. It's so true.
So true, so true.
I mean, it's not a very long watching experience. So
It's like the bonus. It's like the bloopers.
That's the extended cut.
The extended cut. It's not a bad title for a sex tape, actually.
That's like the Zack Snyder's Justice League, right?
It's a 12-hour sex tape, and it's just you like going to the
done in
grocery
5 seconds. Done in 5 seconds. And then just immediately falls asleep.
And then you just nap for 12 hours.
I mean, you know what? Oh,
like
5 seconds.
I imagined it where it's like there was like a huge lead up, right? Like all day, like for 8 hours, right? Of you just doing like normal everyday activities, right? Like it'll show you like watching like something on YouTube for like half an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it'll show you on your computer like goofing off for like an hour. You know what I mean?
Shirt halfway up, belly out.
And then like it'll finally show the moment, and it'll be done in 2 seconds.
I was thinking this the other way around, right? Where it's like, like
you start with
music.
it.
It's playing like the porno music, and then, you just like, it gets into business. It's done in 5 seconds, and then it's like, that was great. Good night, and then it's just footage of me sleeping for 8 hours.
I feel like either way, it would. It's a
Maybe
10
the
out of 10
first one.
film.
Maybe the sex tape first, sleep after is the first one, and then the sequel, so short lived, is is the second. Oh shit.
Mm.
Shit.
You know what? Like,
I'm too easily amused if that could make me laugh as hard as that did.
there you go. You got it. I can't wait for you and your editor to like make this a reality. You know?
Oh no, I'm editing that myself.
Oh, of course, of course.
If you want it done right, you gotta do it your goddamn self. That's
Yeah,
how it works.
I watched that like video that you sent me, and I remember like the first like minute of the video is just like an edited skit between you and your editor of how
Oh
he's
yeah.
just
Oh yeah.
slacking off.
Fully scripted by him, by the way. Fully scripted by him. Do credit to him. For that. Fully scripted by him. Fully edited by him. All I did was provide the voice acting and shit. But yeah, he did a really good job on that. I'm really
You
impressed with
know,
him on that.
he messaged me like the other day and just
Oh yeah, he wanted.
asked me to like give him
Yeah,
a voice
yeah,
clip.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie
You'll
though,
see.
I was getting a tiny bit frustrated with how many retakes he made me do.
Oh yeah, he's a real fucking stickler about it. He's a real stickler. Like I tried to send it to him from my phone. He was like, "Yeah, I think it's better if you record it on your Blue Yeti." Oh, I think that'll sound better. I'm like, "Well, shit, dude. Fuck. I gotta go over to my fucking computer. I gotta set all this shit up. I
Yeah,
gotta get
it's
the
one of these
headphones on."
things where he's like, "Can you back up a little bit for your mic?" And I'm just like, "Can't you just turn it up and post? Like, why do we gotta be extra about it?"
He's a fucking stickler about it. You know what? Honestly, I'd rather him be more careful about it than care less. So you know what? He's going for it. He's going at it. He's in there. He's in the paint. He's going in there. And I'm not gonna say that that yeah, I would prefer that than any like bullshit carelessness just slapped together because he doesn't give a fuck.
I'm
And just
telling
wants
you,
paycheck.
man. Like I did so many different takes where I stressed the syllables slightly differently, and then I
Right?
moved the microphone closer and farther away until he got the volume that he wanted. And then whenever he found like the take that he wanted me to like re-record it, to make sure that it was good. And I was like, oh my god, shut up. And here I am, I close the app every time because like I'm like, oh, it's good now. I sent it to him, and
No,
then 5 minutes
no,
later, it's like,
no.
actually, can you do it again? And then I do it. And I close the app. I'm like, all right, now we're good. And then no, not quite. I was there for like an hour. It felt like because I was doing some other stuff in the background, but every 5 minutes I would get a message.
It's better to just keep the app open. It's better, trust me.
I realized that after a while, but it was too late to really matter at that point.
He again. I like that first skit. He made me do the lines a couple times on that first skit, but it turned out really good, right? Wasn't that funny? I posted it as a clip on YouTube Shorts, and it I think it did pretty well actually.
Okay,
Um,
I'm gonna send this to you real quick.
uh, I think I've heard it. I think he's shown me the thing.
Oh no, not that. I was sending you these lyrics.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That way, if you wanted to read out, if you wanted to read the lyrics, because this one has some pretty funny lyrics in it as well. The white crimes.
Yeah. So yeah, I got like 1.6K views, on that short. So that's pretty solid.
Which short was that for the
It's just
Jackbox
I
video?
posted like the first like 10 15 seconds on it. Just that first little skit. But like it took him a lot of work just to do that one little skit, cuz it's a, it's fairly intensive, He's got to like use our profile pics and our gifs and use that and like put them in there and yeah.
Yeah, he does
But
a good job.
he does. Here's my advice to all of you. Anyone out there who wants to create YouTube content, but like doesn't know how to edit and you want to outsource it to someone else, hire a YouTube pooper. Hire someone who makes YouTube poops because those are extremely edited, right? Like you're clipping like individual syllables out of words to make people say something, right? That is a huge amount of skill and talent and like editing prowess. And that's my advice. Also, here's some advice. Stick around through the ad break because we have to do an ad break. Haha, suck it. This episode is sponsored by Liquid IV, the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. We've been partnering with them all summer, and I've been using it to beat the heat through some of these particularly nasty heat waves. While it was scorching hot outside, I was staying cool and refreshed with Liquid IV and their 12 delicious flavors.
One stick of liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates you twice as fast and far more efficiently than water alone, and it also contains 5 essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks, without any GMOs, gluten, dairy, or soy. Liquid IV is also committed to equitable access to clean water worldwide, partnering with leading organizations to fund and foster innovative solutions with communities that protect both their water and their futures, and donating 39 million servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code IIHSPodcast, all one word, at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code IIHSPodcast, again, all one word, at liquidiv.com. Thank you again to Liquid IV for partnering with us. This podcast is sponsored by Amanda Redwine, your no-nonsense talk therapist and parent coach. Serving individuals and couples in both Illinois and Florida for counseling/therapy, as well as worldwide for parent coaching. Amanda's specialty is working with teens and young adults, as well as their family systems. Amanda has extensive experience working with youth who identify on the LGBTQIA+ spectrum. She has also done couples work based on a foundation of the Gottman method. She brings a light, no-nonsense approach to treatment that is approachable and empathetic. She is unflappable and makes her clients comfortable from the very beginning. Find out more at www.amandaredwine.com. That's AMANDAREDWINE.com. Thank you again for sponsoring this episode, and back to the show. Welcome back. Sorry for the bait and switch. There you go. You're welcome. You can never really tell. You can never really tell when I'm going to switch it up on you and be like, psych, bitch, we're going to the ad break. Fuck you.
Or you could just like set your timer for about 30 to 40 minutes, and
I'm
you'll
watching it.
probably be pretty spot on. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, to be fair, I do say that we go around 30 to 35 minutes in, like when I reach out to an advertiser. So I kind of have like some kind of a contractual obligation to be around that area. But, you know, when I hit you with the segue though, you never know when it's coming. You're like, oh shit, he done got me with the segue again. Damn.
Man, just like Paul Blart.
What? Oh, fuck off. Fuck you. I hate you. Do you know that? Do you know that?
Nah, you love me.
Fuck you. Did you know there is a podcast by the people who got me into podcasting, or I guess some of the people who did?
Well, yeah, it's a podcast that we started. I got you into podcasting. I'm here,
No,
man.
that's not. No. But it's called Till Death Do Us Blart, where every year they on Thanksgiving, the people from My Brother and Me and The Worst Idea of All Time podcasts, they go in and they watch Paul Blart 2, and they they say it every year.
Why not
they
the
do
first
it.
one?
No, it's Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Why not the first one though?
No, it's actually Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
But why not the first one? Why do they choose the second one?
So here's like the neat thing about it is they just do Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. It's just this really neat thing, you know. They do Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 every year on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, could you just keep talking? I'm gonna put on Die Hard real quick. I gotta finish it.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck off. I
Like
hate you.
you can take over while I watch my movie, right?
Oh, so you couldn't stay awake to watch it then, but now when I actually need you, I can't believe this motherfucker slept through the best part of Die Hard.
No, I just slept through all the parts after he. What was the last thing I watched actually? The thing is, I watched another film recently where there was somebody in an elevator in a building in events, and I don't remember if that was Die Hard or if that was this other
He
thing that I
was in
watched.
Vents. Yes, he was in the Vents. It's the
That's
iconic
pretty
thing.
sus, man.
Shut up! Shut up!
He's venting.
I
That's pretty
can't.
sus.
Every time I do that in Starfield, every time I go on events in Starfield, I talk about that. Every single time. Every single time. I can't escape it. I cannot escape the
It's
fucking
Starfield. There's
emotives.
nobody doing it but you. Don't even act like like it's a choice.
No, every time I'm in Starfield, I have to say it. I have to say it. There's a gun pointed at my head. I have to say it.
What I remember is the scene where he like holds open something with the gun.
Oh, yeah, when he jumps out the window. He's using it like to hold himself in place with like the
Oh
he
yeah,
wraps the
yeah.
cord
He has like
around
the
it.
strap on it or something like that, right?
Yes, he has a strap on.
Yes, the strap on the gun. I
What
I
would you
do
do? What would you do
remember
if
that.
John McClane had a strap on? Would you have stayed
And
awake
then
then?
and then after that, I don't remember anything. And then I woke up and it was Christmas music. So I was like, "Oh, good movie."
I hate you. You
But then
literally
but
missed the best part of the
and
movie.
then a day later, I saw a Family Guy episode, which I think was a reference to Die Hard, but I don't actually know because I didn't watch the scene that it was referencing.
I hate you.
It was so funny. I was gonna send it to you and be like, "Is this a Die Hard reference?" But I felt like you were gonna get so mad.
You're goddamn right. I did. All I asked you to do was watch one movie. It's not even like 2 hours long. And he fucking fell asleep in Die Hard, like the best movie ever. My man, I hate my life. This is what it's come to. So safe to say, I'm not inviting you back to any other fucking movie commentaries anytime soon.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
My popcorn would make more insightful observations than you. You literally passed out, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh wait, you know what? I just looked it up. It is a Die Hard reference. The episode of Family Guy that I watched. I just wanted to double check. It was a Die Hard
Oh
reference.
my
It was like
god. Oh
Peter
my
Griffin with the
god.
gun, and then there's like this guy crawling towards like the window, and then like the guy, and then he says like his like one liner, and then the guy falls out the window. Is that a reference to anything?
I hate you. I hate what? Maybe you should have watched the movie and you would have found out. Maybe you should have watched the movie. Maybe you should try watching the movie. Have you ever tried
Wait,
watching the movie?
don't tell me. Does he die hard?
I hate
Is that
you
why he's called
so.
Die Hard?
I hate you
Because
so
it was
much.
hard for him to die, or that he died in a hard. Yeah, I feel like I gotta workshop this a little bit more. So this is
You should try watching
little
the
theory.
movie. Maybe instead of workshopping, you could try watching the movie. Have you considered watching the movie? Maybe watching
Well,
the movie would.
everybody
work for you.
knows that actors, if they're in another movie, then that's a sequel kind of to like the original movie, right? So I'm
What
gonna
is
watch
the-
Armageddon, and I think that that's a
No,
sequel to Die Hard, right?
no. Because
How about
Bruce
I
Willis
how about I
dies in
watch
that movie.
what if I watch Die Hard
That's not a.
with Kevin Hart?
That's not a thing.
No, I definitely saw it was a thing. It's called Die Hard with Kevin Hart.
That's not a thing that happened.
Nope, it's definitely a real thing.
I'm looking this up, but I'm telling you, it's not a thing.
Nope, it's a real thing. It says 2 seasons. It's a show called Die Hard.
Doesn't look like it's very good, apparently.
It was available on Prime Video. There you go. But see, that's a sequel to Die Hard, right?
No,
But it's 2 seasons.
no,
Okay, so I can't watch Armageddon, right?
no.
Why not? They do the slow-mo walk.
I don't think there is a slow-mo walk in Die Hard.
Well, in Die Hard 2, aka Armageddon.
No, that's I don't understand where you're getting this from. It's not a sequel.
I'll tell you what, Nick. Next time that we watch Die Hard, I'll try to fall asleep at all the parts that I was awake for. That way, I can get a full nap over the course of 2 movie watchings, but also watch the full movie over the course of 2 movie watchings. You know what I mean, right?
Are we going to rip them off? Are we gonna rip them off and do till die do us hard, or till death die us hard? I don't know.
Are you talking about like some Die Hard sequel that I don't know?
No. So I was telling you, till death do us Blart, where they do Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 every year on Thanksgiving. I'm saying, are we going to watch Die Hard every year and call it till die do us hard or something?
It would be so funny, and we can record how many years it takes me to figure out what's going on in the movie.
You literally missed the best part of the fucking movie, man.
Was it the part that I just said? The part where he falls out the window?
No.
Because that's the part that the Family Guy episode had.
The vast majority of the action in that movie you missed because you fucking fell asleep during fucking Die Hard, which shouldn't even be possible.
Well, I'm not. Let me tell you what happened. That way it makes it a little easier for you to understand, right? I had my chair fully reclined and a second chair as a footstool, and I was laying here in my chair, right? And then I decided there's something wrong about the setup. So I took my laptop and I went to my bed and I just laid down on my bed with my laptop instead, and I was like, this is much more comfortable. And then I fell asleep.
I hate you. I hate you. I want you to know that.
I wanted to get comfortable, and I got very comfortable. Maybe too comfortable. No, there's no such thing as too comfortable, I don't think.
I dislike you immensely. Did you know that?
So I was thinking, I might start my streaming career. You know what I mean, right?
Falling asleep at movies?
Yeah, I think that I can make a career out of it. You know what I mean?
What are you gonna call this?
My streaming career?
No. This series, this hypothetical series.
Oh, the falling asleep on a movie series.
What are you gonna call that?
It's a good.
Dude, I'm struggling. I took 2 Benadryls before we took this podcast because I wanted to eat bananas. It works, by the way.
What's a good name for a series where I fall asleep to movies?
Did you hear anything of what I just said?
It's really a great question. I'm glad you posed it, right?
I hate you. I'm about to fall asleep right now if you don't fucking
I'm trying to, I feel
entertain me.
I'll come up with a more clever name later, but I feel like there's a good pun I could come up with there. You know what I mean, right?
I know you can hear me because you stop talking whenever I start talking. So
I want to come up with a nice pun for that, right? And then we can test and we'll watch different movies.
I think it'd be really funny if I muted him right now. I think it'd be really, really funny.
And if the movies are boring, right, then I'll fall asleep sooner, right? So it's kind of almost like a rating system for the movies too, right? Because the longer it takes me to fall asleep, the better the movie is, right?
But that doesn't even work because you can't even establish a baseline because your sleep schedule changes.
Well, but that's the thing. I'll watch it. I'll watch every single movie at my most tired. I'll purposely stay up a full 24 hours, and then I'll watch the movie on the 24-hour mark of me waking up. That way it's fair every time, That way I'm sleep deprived, but if the movie is engaging, I'll stay awake. But if it's not engaging, then I'll fall asleep.
That feels like a lot of setup for no payoff.
No. The viewers want to know if the movie is thrilling enough to keep you awake, and even if you're tired,
You fell asleep during Die Hard. Your opinion means diddly fucking shit about what's exciting enough to keep
You
people
know
awake.
what? 24 hours may be too much. You're right. I feel like the tired effect might overrule the thrilling effect. I feel like we need
You
to find
weren't
a
even
good
up.
balance.
You weren't even. You literally had just woken up when I fucking sent you the Die Hard thing. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Well, I didn't get a lot of sleep before.
I don't care. Doesn't matter. It's Die Hard. If you can sleep through Die Hard, there's something wrong with you.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm pretty good at sleeping. I feel like you should try it sometime. Like I'm kind of a professional at sleeping almost. I would say, personally.
You have to actually get paid for that. Have you ever done a sleep study before?
Let me tell you, I'm gonna do a sleep stream, and then we'll see who the professional is. It doesn't matter if I get even like 2 cents, 1 bit. Technically, I can say I'm a professional sleeper then.
I really want to torture you, but that would involve A, spending money, B, giving you money, C, making you a professional. And I
You
don't
know
like that.
what? Like I need to like ask some popular streamers that I know, like some advice, tips and tricks. I'm gonna have to see if Michael's available to talk on Discord sometime.
Oh, Michael. Yeah, Michael.
Yeah.
Really. He's the successful streamer.
Is there any other like incredibly successful,
Hang on.
people that
Let
you
me
know?
no hate to Michael. He's still figuring his shit out. He's still getting there. He's still figuring shit out. No hate to him. No hate to him at all. But I'm finna be honest with you. I have literally more than 10 times his follower count.
Is that what you think it's about, Kale?
Yes.
Followers?
Yes.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you. You could have followers that are just like me. I don't watch a single one of your streams.
You're gay.
And I'm your follower. And how does that help you? Maybe Michael's followers actually watch him.
From what I've seen, it's usually just me when he
That's
streams.
that's actually the funniest thing I've ever said. I'm like hilarious. God.
From what I've heard, it's usually just me watching his streams.
And the funny thing is, right? Every time I join on your stream, there's nobody but me.
I'm busy. I'm doing shit.
You're in the middle of a stream. What are you talking about? You have nobody in chat. You're sitting there.
I'd cut a lot of
bantering to
people out
yourself.
recently. I'd cut a couple people out recently.
You cut people out? Ooh, drama. Let's talk about it live on the podcast where it's totally private.
No.
Okay.
I don't like public drama on I don't like public personal drama on here, right? Like if we got into like very like if we got into drama with like another creator and it was like us talking shit, I would love that. But like I would not be able to handle it well if it like bring up like relationship drama on this show. That's fucking weird, and I don't like it.
It's not the vibe. I feel like the vibe of
No,
the
it's
show
not.
is lighthearted. I feel like some podcasts are a little bit more like better with dealing with those topics. But we're fun, lighthearted show.
Yeah, something like that.
I feel like we could do like a serious-esque episode. I feel like we have done at least one episode that was a tiny bit more serious. You know what? I think I know what it was. I think that we did like a little mini episode one time. We do a mini episode about like some sort of law announcement that they made.
Law and Order?
No. It was like a
Oh, that one? Yeah.
like a political. It was a political like short episode. I remember something like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah. That was pretty successful actually. We kind of released that at a pretty good time.
I feel like that's like that would be like our version of like a serious thing to talk about, right? But that wasn't really a personal story, right?
No.
I feel like with a personal story it would be a little different.
I mean, have you needed to get an abortion recently?
Not recently.
When was the last time you needed to get an abortion?
It's been a minute, man.
Do you know off the top of your head?
No.
Yeah, that's our 4th most popular episode. Can you believe it's been 614 days since we released that?
No, I don't. But guess what?
What?
To all of your listeners and viewers,
What's up?
they'll be happy to know that this season 3, I'm coming back, right? Let's go, right? Fans have voted me in. I'm
We
back.
literally recorded an episode without you, dude. We literally recorded an episode without you today.
All right, I'm semi back. I'm kind of back sometimes.
This is a bonus episode. This is not a permanent thing.
I'm lurking in the backgrounds. The fans wanted me. You can ask our
I will say
our most loyal patron, the one who's been there from the beginning. Justin Connor.
I will say January is shaping up to be pretty solid because we're 7 days in and we've hit 125, which is better than some actual months that we've had. That we are better in 7 days in January than we were at 100. We had 100 downloads in November. So
I think that the 3 hosts are really what's gonna do it. The thing
we
is,
literally didn't even release an episode in January yet, and we've already got more downloads than fucking than we did in fucking November. This is sad. This is legit fucking
what
sad.
episode was it?
So no. Like we haven't released an episode since last year.
Can you see what episodes they're downloading though?
Not really. I can just see I can just compare when they went up. Yeah, the one that you were in is actually doing fairly well. Episode 87 has 20 downloads, which is pretty far for where it is right now.
I'm telling you, I'm the 3 hosts. The thing is though, if we were to do 3 hosts on a semi-permanent basis, right, where I would
It'd
be
be
back
fucking ridiculous to
more
schedule.
often, right? Well, I'm not thinking about the scheduling. I'm thinking like we can't change the title of the show, but there's only 2 titles to share here, unless I just want to be the former highly successful. I guess
you're both highly successful at that. I don't fucking know.
Are we
I don't
both highly
fucking
successful?
know.
Is he
Sure.
highly successful and I'm like
Sure.
the old retired highly successful?
I know
what
you're
mean?
not incredibly influential. I know you're not
Wait,
jumping into that territory.
No. Calm down. I just got an amazing idea.
Oh god, he's got a brain blast.
I'm incredibly successful.
No.
The
That's
combination.
never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen.
I'm
because then that
highly-
implies-
I'm highly influential. Oh, you know what? We could have a 4-person show then. Well, we gotta get Michael on or somebody, a 4th person on, and
we
then
have
we'll
to
we'll have
all right.
structured titles.
No. If we had 4 people, we would need to have at least one chick, right? For tokenism, Like we'd have to have at least one chick.
Like I'm thinking of it like Mario Bros, and then you have like the Wario Bros. You know what I mean, right? You're Mario, Maxwell. He's like Luigi, right? So that would make me like Waluigi. We need like a Wario then, right?
Who's the anti me then?
Like the thing is, I don't know if I'm the anti Maxwell. I think I'm just like
No, you and him are about the same.
I feel like I'm just like the slightly louder Maxwell.
No, it should be me and Jennifer versus you and Maxwell. That's what it should be because me and
Jennifer and you kind of are both like that chaos energy, I feel like that would be, and it would fulfill your token girl thing that you were trying to do too,
But then it would come back together and the balance would just be the same again.
No, I feel like the balance would be much worse.
No. 2 chaos, 2 order, mix them together. It's still 50-50.
But then you have to understand there's 4 people talking though, and I feel like the fact that there's 2 chaos people talking here are just because here's the thing.
Oh yeah, you and Maxwell especially would not be able to get a word in edgewise. He's a little too quiet.
Maxwell, first of all, it would be like we would never hear him.
Yeah.
I would sometimes fight my way into the limelight, but I feel like you and Jennifer are just going to be arguing and talking nonstop about nonsense.
Yeah, but it would be really funny.
The thing
That's our
is, right?
second best episode.
The
That's our
thing
second highest
is,
episode.
right? I feel like me and Maxwell combined, like we can overpower one chaos, but I don't think that he's gonna be able to overpower the second.
Hey man, I
I
think it's
feel
gonna
I
be.
feel like I feel like Jennifer may be like too much in that one direction, too much in that direction.
No,
Too much of a chaotic force.
no. I think a lot of people I've said who've listened to that episode say they want more Jennifer. So
I don't remember that episode super well, but I remember it being like a headache.
I literally named it "Pure Unbridled Chaos Ensues." And that's what it was. It's almost as good as it was almost as chaotic as what was it? Was it Fitness and CDs?
Oh,
Fitness and CDs was
I
pretty
do love
solid.
fitness and CD. Let me tell you, you kept trying to get me for so long. It was just a reoccurring bit. You would just try new jokes, and like I think after the first one that you got on me, I was just cautious. I was like every time you said anything, I was waiting for the joke, and you got me a couple times, but
I did. I named an entire episode after me getting you, bro. It was hilarious. It was fucking hilarious. I absolutely destroyed you.
is that the name of the episode?
No. The name of the episode is "We Need to Talk About Maya" because that was fucking hilarious, and that one is like our third most successful one. So there you go. That's how you know. It's a very good name. I'm proud of myself for coming up with that.
I feel like there's like some lore, that you only get if you've watched like
2
multiple
years worth of this
episodes.
fucking show. Yeah.
Exactly. There's like extra lore in there. And I feel like I don't know who's that dedicated to know all the lore, but there's a lot of it. A lot of
June
lore.
7th, 2022 was, yeah. That is, compared to its age, I think it's doing pretty solid. But obviously, season 1, episode 1 is the, that one's popping off.
So
Obviously.
do I claim the title of incredibly successful or highly
No.
influential? I feel like
Neither.
incredibly
Neither.
successful.
Neither.
Cause I feel like successful needs to be in there.
No. You and Maxwell are both highly. It's a team. It is a team sport. Okay. This is red versus blue here, right? Where you and Maxwell are highly successful, I'm incredibly influential, and that's the work here is it's us versus each other. You all spend the whole time trying to tear me down and bully me into submission, and it never works. And that's the dynamic.
I was
That's
gonna
how
say,
it works.
like, you just reminded me of. I know this is like off topic completely, right?
Hmm.
But on our D&D podcast, right?
Yes, atop the table, rss.com/podcast/atop the table.
That was not where I was going with this, but
It's
sure.
also down in the description.
Not where I was going at all, but sure, if you want to follow it, that's fine. But I was gonna say every single time that we do our introductions at the beginning, right? Or every time that we do our exits at the end, right?
It's
Where
a
we say,
different thing every time.
no, it's not that. It's like every time we say, I'm this, and I'm this, and I'm this, and I'm this, right? And I always have the urge, and I always kind of like have to like suppress the urge to say, and we're Team Rocket, or
That
something like,
doesn't- what?
or like some sort of like random thing to say. I feel like I want there to be like kind of like I feel like there's a missing something, or you know what I mean? At the very end there to kind of like bring it all together. You know what I mean? I feel like we say we're
That's
a top.
not the direction I thought you were going in with that at all.
No. Because I say like the flow in my head, right, is one of those things where it's like we say we're atop the table, and then we just introduce the names, right? I think that we should introduce the names and then say, and we're atop the table, right?
And
Kinda
welcome
like,
back from. Well, the reason I picked the name. Here's the story behind this. So I picked the name.
You see, because like the flow of like the introduction, it feels like it ends abruptly right after the last name, right? I feel like it needs like a closing, right?
I guess, but here's my thing here. Right? So the reason I chose atop the table as the name, right, is because like welcome back from atop the table. We are on top of the table. We're welcoming you back. You are now atop the table with us. You're on the tabletop with us, with our characters and shit like that. That's sort of why I picked that name. and I think it fucking hits. Honestly, I think it's a good ass name. But um, yeah, I mean, I've thought about playing around with the intro. I don't know what's going on with it.
Or like
Um,
maybe like the outro, but like I said, like the flow of it, like the way we say it, makes it feel like there needs to be like a statement after it. But
I
usually
don't know.
we
Maybe
go back, we go right into like and last time, right? But I feel like there needs to be something right before, like that and last time, right?
do you think we
Like
should introduce our names and then say "and welcome back from atop the table"?
that's what I think that we should do. I maybe we do welcome, and then we say our names, right? We say welcome, and then we say I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, and I'm this. And
No, because
then
we're welcoming them back to our
you know
tabletop.
what?
So I'm with you, and I understand
You
your
see,
point, and
you know,
I want to do
it's
that.
I do want the welcome to be at the beginning, but at the same time, I feel like the top of the table should be after, but the welcome and the top of the table need to be together. So
I think I think here's my
that's
opinion.
where
Here's my
I'm getting
opinion.
confused. You know,
Let's do a little read through, right? I will read for
'cause
Todd
I
and
feel like
Michael.
we can't do a cold open where we just say
Well, it's not a
I'm
cold
this,
open.
I'm this, I'm this, and I'm this. I feel like we need to have something at the beginning and something at the end. I feel like we have one but not the other. You know?
Here's my thing. Right? I'll read for Michael. You read for Maxwell, right? So
Well,
um
we're okay, sure.
let's do it. Let's do it real quick. All right. Greetings, friends and foes. Um, I am your handsome and whatever the fuck he likes to say, DM Michael, and I'm here with blah 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 blah. Me, I'm here. You, Maxwell, Todd, blah blah blah, and welcome from atop the table. Do you think that works? You know, fit that shit there at the end.
You know, I do like how that flows. You know what I mean? Because like you get all the characters, and then we get boom atop the table, right? Because in my mind, like I get like the like that's like I watched like all the Pokemon whenever I was younger, right? And
Yes.
you know how like Jesse and James like introduce themselves, right?
Jesse, James, Meowth, that's a name.
Right, and I feel like
Starting trouble wherever we go. Um, spitting all that amazing flow. Team Rocket, yeah, that sort of thing.
right. I like there's like the intros, right, where they introduce themselves and they like say their lines, right? And then
Yes.
there's also um I we're Team Rocket and we're blasting off again, right?
Well,
And like
that's at the very end of the episode.
exactly, but like I don't know why, like every single time that we say the names, that's like the vision that comes in that pops into my head. You know what I mean? We say the names, and I think of Pokemon. I think of Team Rocket, and then at the end of the episode, we say our names again, and I think we're blasting off.
I guess.
I don't know why. Like that's
But
like
Jesse and James don't say their names again at the end of the
no, they
episode.
don't. They say Team Rocket blasting off again. I know, but I don't know why every single time in my head, like I feel like I hear the flow in my head, and then like it doesn't go where my mind thinks it should.
I'll be honest with you. What I was expecting you to say was, like, you were wanting to say um, I thought you were gonna say like every time we do that intro, I like you are trying to say, and I'm highly successful. And it's like
That would be funny.
that it would be really funny, yes, but that's where I thought you were going with that, and I didn't think you were going in that direction. Yeah, it's
You know,
really hard to do an
it,
intro with 5 fucking people.
it is funny, right? Because I do change my name on Zencaster like, all the time. I'm
He
like one of the only
does.
people that change the name,
He
and like,
does. He
and I'll
does
change
either.
it.
Yeah, he does like Vex sometimes because he plays Vex Godsend. If you don't listen, he plays a rogue Vex Godsend. So he is the only one who doesn't go in with his real fucking name, and he does Vex every time.
You don't
Every
like
fucking
Vex
time.
Godson?
No, I like it just fine. I've told you that that's one of my favorite names in the group, but we're going by our real names, so it's just kind of it's odd to have the one odd man out because sometimes I'll look at it and it's like flashing in my brain, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna say Vex. I don't know.
Well, I
Yeah.
am Vex, so you're not wrong. But like, I feel like it depends. Are you Zagrum speaking to Vex, or are you Kael speaking to Vex?
Well, okay, you don't have a fucking character voice, so that's kind of difficult. I do have a character
Well,
voice.
my character voice is my voice because like I feel like my first campaign, I don't want to I'm trying to just get the rope, learn the ropes before I
Okay.
do fancy
Here's
things
what
like voices and all
here's what
that.
I'm
You
gonna
know?
say. Here's what I'm gonna say to that. Here's what I'm gonna say to that. And then we're gonna go into the big red button, okay?
Sure.
I will let you do that character voice as yourself if you admit to the world right now that you are a hobbit in real life.
I was thinking like the next time that we like have like that D&D podcast, right? Of naming myself Vex's alter ego's name.
I mean, you know what? Fair enough, I guess.
just
It's
to
not
just to like just change it up, right?
it's not
I
the worst idea in the
I
world.
spoke to Michael about the alter ego and trying to like develop it a little bit more,
Yeah.
and I haven't sat down to actually like write or like try to like create that story, right?
Yeah.
But I do have like a general idea of what I want like the alter ego to be, right? Because I know that I had to make up the name on the spot for like that, like a that little thing that we were doing that one episode, right?
Yes.
So that's how I got the name, and now that I have the name, I'm trying to, try to figure out who that alter ego is supposed to be, right?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But
Right? Because whenever you helped me, you made me like remember I was like I chose like the charlatan, right? I haven't really done
yes.
a lot with that yet, and so I'm
Yeah.
trying to
To
do
be
more with
fair,
that
I
now.
haven't done a lot with mine either, actually. Um
The
I
the
have a pretty
campaign's
cool feature
kind
for
of
that.
going a little slow, and we're getting stuck on certain parts. I know that like the way I want to play, and the way that Michael wants to play, and the way that you want to play, and the way that everybody else wants to play, kind of we're butting heads a little bit, right? Because I want to be like super thorough, and Michael knows there's nothing there, so he has to
Hey,
just amuse
you
me.
can't rob every single room and ask him to explain every square inch. Okay. But yeah, I get it.
Well, that's how I feel like Vex would play it. That's how I in my mind see it though.
I figure there's just like a faster way to do that, and I think we could probably figure it out.
Yeah,
But
because I feel like it shouldn't have to be one of those things where I have to ask about every room. I feel like I go, Michael, hey, what's in the whole house? Tell me,
okay,
please.
I guess. All right. Well, but you have to go room to room in case there's like shit in there. So I get it. But like,
Like I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, in realistically, it would be a little bit of a faster process than me rolling a dice and me
that is
having to wait
true.
for him to tell. I feel like I could look in a room like, and I could be thorough, and it'd be faster. It's just because everybody's talking and I'm trying to do so much.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe you should stick with the group a little bit more often, buddy. That's how you know.
Well, I feel like I want my own individual voice
Yes,
and
but
character to do
you
his
gotta
thing.
share with the group anyway, so you might as well let us all look for it together. Duh.
I want you to know on my info sheet in like dark red, I wrote y'all all owe me money because I didn't want to forget the fact that I bought this Adventurers Guild pass and nobody paid me back yet.
I'm keeping you alive right now, buddy. I don't want to hear it.
I have a gravity rock. You don't know anything.
I gave you. We're not gonna get too much into this. Go listen to the show. Go listen
Okay,
to Top the Table right now.
we'll stop for now, but
Yeah, we'll go. We'll do the big red button. We gotta do the big red button. So, yeah, big red button. All right, big red button. Big red button. Here we go. This one I've already asked it to Maxwell, but I want to get your thoughts on this. It's sort of a choice between two big red buttons. Are you do you,
Yep.
let me explain.
Mhm.
So, you've got two big red buttons here. Number one, the one on the left, is you are 50% more likely to develop food poisoning,
Okay.
but it will last for 50% of the time. So, have you ever gotten it before?
No.
No?
Never got on food poisoning.
Okay, so I got food poisoning one time. It was really bad. Lasted 4 days. Yeah, not good, not fun. So, yeah, but it was 4 days and it would last 50% the time. So it would only be 2 days. but it would happen 50% more often. And of course, the counterpoint is, would you rather get it 50% less of the time, but when you do get it, it lasts for 50% longer? So, for that example, if it was 4 days for me, it would be 6 days if I took that button.
Look, so we gotta think about this mathematically here, right?
Yes.
So if I get food poisoning 50% more often, right?
Yeah.
That's 150% chance, right?
Yes.
So that's 1.5x, right? But if it lasts 50% less often, that's half. So it's 1/2, right?
Yeah.
So, you're getting half, which is
3/2 times 1/2.
you're dividing by 2, but you're only multiplying by 1.5. So you see, net, like if you look at the net's still better, right?
Is that correct?
Yeah, because look, you divide by 2, but you only multiply by 1.5. You
Let
see what I'm
me
trying to say?
let me do this here. Right.
Because so if I chose that option, right, where I get it more often, but it lasts less often, then it would still be a net positive because the amount of food poisoning that I would get over the course of a lifetime would be less. You see what I'm trying to say?
Now here's the thing here, right? So it's 1/2 times 3/2, right? Calculate. You get that? It's 3/4. Now you switch them around. You put 3/2 in front and 1/2 in the second. You calculate again. It's still 3/4. Multiplication doesn't matter what order you do it in.
No. I'm saying that either one is going to be a net positive. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
versus
that's
the
what I'm
original,
saying.
because the original would be 1 times 1, which would be 1, right? So either way, no matter what you do, you're going to get less food poisoning, right?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned to
Right.
Maxwell.
So either one is a good option, right? But you have to choose whether or not you'd rather get food poisoning more often, but it'd be less severe, or less often, but it's more severe, right?
Well, it's not about the severity. The severity is going to be the same, you know.
Well, last longer. Yeah, that's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
You get less often, but it lasts longer. I feel like I've never gotten food poison before, and I don't know the chances of getting food poison, but in my 23 odd years of living, I've gotten it 0 times. It sounds like, you know, uh, it's probably not gonna happen too many times in my life if I'm lucky, right? Um, so it really doesn't matter what I choose because I don't think I care that much. But I'm trying. Let me think. Um, more often, but it's like, how long would you say food poisoning usually lasts though?
So Maxwell said he got it for a week. I got it for 4 days. My mom got the same food poisoning I did. She got it for 3 days. So it all just depends on how much you ate and how well suited you are to digesting whatever it is you got, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, so it's like it all depends on what kind of poisoning you got, cuz food poisoning is a very wide label, you know? Like there's many different kinds of food poisoning. So it's
I have my answer.
what's your answer?
I've decided that I think it would be better to get it more often, but whenever you do get it, it lasts less time. Because let's say, an average person will get food poisoning once every couple of years, right? Let's say once
Yes.
every like 5 years, right?
I've only gotten it like confirmed one time in 21 years.
Yeah,
So,
but as an adult, well, let's say it's like 1 in 5 because you're going out more often on your own. You know what I mean? You're picking your own food, whatever, right? We'll say 1 in 5, 1 in 6 years, right? Like, just a random number, right?
yeah.
Um, if I get it 50% more often, then that 1 in 5 years, 1 in 4 years, 1 in 6 years becomes a 1 in 4, 1 in 3 years, right?
Yes.
And instead of that sickness lasting a week, 4 days, it'll last 2 to 4 days, 2 to 3, maybe 4 days.
True, but
You see what I'm saying,
counterpoint.
right? And I feel like when it does happen, I don't want to be debilitated for as long. You know what I mean, right? Because obviously you can't really control when food poisoning is going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of will just happen when it happens, and it's like more of a luck based thing, right? Like sometimes you'll get it,
I mean,
and it's unlucky, right?
I would say you do have a little bit of a warning because Todd
Like,
gave himself food poisoning with old meatballs that he knew he shouldn't have eaten.
well, okay, if you're the cook, then it's kind of on you. But like, let's say you go to a restaurant. Like, obviously with the restaurant, it's a little bit more of like a random chance bad luck thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, and I'm assuming like from my assumptions of like this whole food poisoning thing, I'm assuming that you're not giving it to yourself because that would just be silly. But
Yeah, that is true.
uh, what's it called? Like, because I can't really control when it's gonna happen though. The whole point that it's like random, right? L- Like, I don't know what I'm gonna have going on any given day of the week, right? And I'd rather whenever I did get food poisoning that it would last less time. That way it wouldn't impede as much into whatever my plans are for that day, week, month, whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Because let's say like I have like a semi important like thing that I had planned, right, on Saturday, right, and I get
Yes.
sick on like Tuesday. Like it'd be nice to know that my 6 months would be gone by Thursday or Friday instead of lasting all the way up until like Monday or Tuesday if I had the longer one, right? You
Yes.
see what I'm saying, right? And
Yeah.
because it's so infrequent already, I feel like I don't really care to make it more infrequent, you know?
I guess that makes sense. But like overall at the end of the day, you're still going to spend the same amount of days in your life with food poisoning. It's
Hmm.
just do you want to spend them all clustered together or more spread apart?
Like I said, I think more spread apart because like I think that on any given week, any given month, any given day, right? I'd rather, like I said, the sickness to be shorter, right? So even though I would technically get sick like a tiny bit more often, right? Like instead of every 6 years, it's like every 4 years for me. You know what I mean, right? Like like the amount of those couple days will impede my week or less, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure, like, that, like, let's say, like, you're working somewhere, right? And you're sick for, like, a week, right? I feel like it kind of, like, ruins your whole, like, routine. And then, like, you kind of, like, remember to get back into your routine. Sometimes it's not that bad if it's like only a couple days, right? Like let's say you miss a day of work, right? Like let's say you have like a doctor's appointment or something, right? That's not going to ruin your routine, right? You just go back to it the next day, right? A day or two. But if you're in bed for a week, week and a half, or however long, right?
Yeah.
And then you try to go back to like your regular routine, it takes like a second to like refamiliarize yourself, like I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Because
I would yeah,
you've been in bed for like 10 days,
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. That does
Yeah,
kind of make sense.
right. So like I said, I'd rather just do 2 days. It wouldn't really impede my ability to keep my schedule, my routines, my schedules, you know. Sure, like it might like in like a very rare occurrence, like be at a very, very inconvenient time.
True.
But the same thing could happen in the other scenario where it's like long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's not really something that I'm worried about. I'm just trying to think of it uh like from kind of like that perspective I was telling you, right? Where I have a routine and it'll be easier to maintain the routine if I get sick for shorter amounts of time.
See, I've already asked this today, and I still don't really have a good answer because like I I'm not sure,
It's not
right?
really a wrong answer, but it's a preference and like what you're I guess what you how you justify it, right?
Yeah. Like I don't know. Maybe yeah. It's really hard to just to really put that idea into words and really like be like okay this is better or this is worse. You know like I couldn't tell you which one would be better in the long run because like I think like you said they're both an improvement. You're still down to three quarters, but it's just really hard. It's just really hard to choose which one would be better. So yeah, I couldn't tell you, but I'm glad that we have this insight, and you know what? I think that's a good place to end it.
Wow, he's just gonna cop out, not say anything, and then just end the episode.
I mean, I here's what I'll say: go listen to the other episode. There you go.
Well, I'm not gonna listen to it. Like
Why not? Why not? Fuck you.
Because
I'm putting it out there.
I just sat through this episode.
Yeah, the other episode's pretty good too. It was
Plus, I'm kind of tired. Like I already gotta go to bed.
Oh yeah, I'm about to fucking fall asleep right now. Those two Benadryls are hitting. But yeah, yeah, go listen to the other episode. Fuck you. Goodbye. Merry Christmas.
All right,
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas. Bye bye.
No, you're not leaving it.
Wait. Merry Christmas. So wait, give me a second. Wait, let's pause for a second. Did you say Merry Christmas?
I can say whatever I want.
You can't put
I want to
like
you
understand.
Justin Connor.
Like we can't post this
I want to
before
thank Justin
we
Connor.
record it, right?
I want to thank Justin Connor, our patron. Thank you very much for providing us with your patronage. It's very helpful. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. If you want to get a cool shout out like that, head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/IIHS podcast, all one word. Get in that $3 tier if you want an even cooler shout out, plus access to our movie commentaries and our early access to these episodes ad free as soon as they're done being edited. Get in that $5 tier. Oh yeah, so worth it. Yeah, definitely hop in there. And other than that, my name is also we're on social media at IIHS podcast. We're on Threads, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube as that. So go follow us over there for topic suggestions, updates, Q&A, that sort of thing. That's the best place to reach us. So there you go. Other than that, my name is Kael. I've been incredibly influential, I think. I don't know.
And
I don't
my
know what
name
this
is Danny, and I've been highly successful for today.
Sure. And we'll I will talk to you guys on Tuesday. I don't know where Danny's gonna be.
And I will be lurking in the background, waiting to show my face once again.
He'll be on the top of the table
be
if it's D&D.
A week from now, may it be a month from now. You never know. But I will be there in the shadows. I'll be the whisper in the wind.
Sure, whatever. He's getting a little too into this, but yeah, we just
I'm tired,
let's end the
man.
episode before he gets too into it. Thank you very much for listening. We'll talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.
All right, bye bye.